Hi, Sarah.
Hi,
So lovely to see you.
great to see you. Wow, your garden is looking fantastic.
Thank you. I don't know if people know this, but Sarah and I don't live together, and because we're adult women. Not, I guess there's nothing. I mean, lots of adult. I mean, I live with another adult woman. But Sarah and I are grown adult twins who don't live together, and since the pandemic struck, we've been not really seeing each other. So you weren't prepared potentially to see my garden. Have you seen my garden? Do you like it?
It's great. Yeah, it's odd. It almost seems fake.
It's real. Look, you guys, it's
Yeah,
it's real. Look it.
that's amazing. That's
I'll
really
tell you. I'll
amazing.
tell you why it's so impressive is because it looks as if like there's dimension.
Yeah,
See what
it's
I
pretty.
what I did what I did was I
You
put
created like a foreground and a background.
yeah, exactly. Like the plants are all at different. I'll post a behind the scenes. I've already seen people suggesting this might be like a Zoom background. It's not. These are real plants that I hang out with on the daily, and I'm going to post a photo after so you can see. But Sarah, welcome. Where's the
Thank you.
good grow? Your
Yeah,
account is doing great. I want to start by saying that I'm very impressed. You have like 8,000 followers or something
I know.
already.
It's pretty exciting. I mean, I don't want to get obsessed with numbers because
Numbers don't matter.
I mean, it doesn't matter because for me, I've spent a lot of time in my adulthood worrying about like, do we get enough likes? Did we sell enough t-shirts? And like the truth is that part of this whole gardening thing, it's not a competition, it's about joy. It's about spending my time tending to things that probably would be fine without me.
I see. I see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
But as you can see, I'm not in the garden today because I thought it was going to rain. And
mhm.
so all day yesterday, I cleaned the garage so that I would have a place to hang out today in today's show. And I've positioned myself here. This was the big project yesterday. I
Well, hold
hung
on a
up.
second. I just wanted to. One of us can lead, and
Okay. Oh, so it's your show now.
yeah, it's my show, so I'm just gonna say our alternate name for Where Does the Good Grow was Back in Your Shed.
Yes.
So what you're saying is that today, because you were afraid it was going to rain, you're going to start the show in a little segment we like to call Back in Your Shed.
Exactly. Yeah. I think it's not really a shed. It's a pretty impressive single car garage. But yes.
Okay. Well, would you show us around your shed? Like give us a
Yeah.
tour? Okay, great.
Garage. But yes. So the important thing to
Shed.
know, but it's actually literally a garage. So
Yeah,
it's not a shed.
but for the sake of this conversation, we could just call it like a really nice shed.
I'm gonna call it a garage. But so this garage is used to park Stacy's car
Cool.
and also to store our winter seasonal clothing.
Hmm.
And also, just glancing around, we keep a lot of Tegan and Sarah super close music related things here that need to be protected and temperature controlled. I'll show you a few of those.
Okay, great.
And a lot of luggage, suitcases,
Hmm.
and paint, and comic books, and also my tools. So
You
the
also have all my suits.
I do, yeah, we'll get to that. But this was the main project yesterday. I have started to accumulate quite a lot of tools that are required to maintain my yard.
Hmm.
And so I hung them all up yesterday. This is a short-term solution. I'm actually, as you know, planning a larger project with Bruce, our stepdad. He's gonna come and visit, and he's gonna help me build a bunch of actual like permanent structure for my tools and my paint and whatever. But I think this is a pretty good looking
It's very
solution.
satisfying looking, very impressive. I've never thought of you as being handy or butch or like I mean
Well,
I know you to be very organized though, so this doesn't surprise me, but I'm shocked that this
I'm
is how you're
I'm
spending your
shocked.
time.
I'm shocked that you just said that I'm not handy. We grew up on a construction site. We have tool sets I can operate. We were in home industrial education together.
It wasn't called home industrial ed, it's
It
called
was called industrial ed.
industrial arts.
Industrial ed. It was IED. I remember. But this is the thing is that I've used saws. I mean, I actually think of myself as being extremely handy.
Well, now
And,
all these
and
people watching know that, you guys. Moving forward,
I can
please.
do, I
She's
can
not
do,
just a lesbian hair icon. She's not just a pop singer who used to be an alternative indie rock singer, who used to be a folk singer. She's also handy. So
yeah. And this is not as simple as it looks. I had
walk
to,
us through it. Take us through
I
it.
had, I had to affix it to the wall with space behind it so that I could hook the little hooks in to hang everything.
How did
So
you do it?
well, I had these small pieces of wood,
Hmm.
and so I essentially placed in the four corners where I had to measure it all out, and I drilled in these pieces of wood, and then Stacy had to come out and hold the pegboard, and then I drilled the pegboard into the pieces of wood.
Right. And for anyone who didn't watch last week's episode, Stacy is Sarah's life partner of 10 years.
I don't like it when you call her life partner.
What do you want me to call her?
I don't know. She's like my girlfriend or my partner.
Is she your girlfriend or is she your partner?
Well, like whatever, like it depends on what kind of mood I'm in. Like when I just want to be like fun and easygoing, she's like my girlfriend. And if she's someone who we file taxes together as a married couple, then she's my partner.
I see. I'm going to take
Yeah,
a couple questions
sure. Yeah.
but one question we keep getting is what is wrapped up in the blue tarp?
Okay. I knew this was going to happen. I didn't want that to be there, but
What
what
is
it
it?
is, I'll tell you what it is. It's an almost brand new IKEA rug that was in our basement that Mickey peed on because of the black cat that comes into our neighborhood or into our backyard and scares him and upsets him. And so
Hmm.
Mickey started marking on the carpet. And I tried to clean it. And then all I could smell was the smell of cleaner when I went down into the basement. And then Mickey would find a new spot to mark it. So now it's wrapped up in that tarp. And I'm thinking about what I want to do with it.
Okay. Well,
So
that's a great.
that's what
Yeah.
it is. And it's actually gigantic. And I don't want to
Maybe you
just
should.
throw
Why don't you give it away? Maybe someone who's watching wants to come pick it up.
nobody wants a pee covered carpet. I'm gonna have to get it cleaned professionally, and obviously with a pandemic happening, it's not my top priority right now.
I see. Okay. A lot of questions about what I'm drinking. I'm having a what I like to call a lemon lime zinger.
With alcohol?
It has gin in it. Um,
Stacy, if you're watching, can you make me a cocktail? Do you think she's watching?
I bet she is. What kind of cocktail
I
would you like?
I'd like to request a jalapeno margarita.
Oh my God. I don't know
I
if
mean,
that's definitely something that a girlfriend
Stacy
would
told
make.
me
I don't know if a partner would make that for you. She'd be like,
my
"Come get
girl
your
my
own
fu
fucking drink."
my fun girlfriend is going to make it for me. She said today that this show gave her something to look forward to today. She was really excited about it. So if she's watching, I hope that I can make that request that she gets me a spicy margarita. Okay, let me show you more about my garage before I take you
Okay,
out to
great.
do.
I just want to add one other thing is that I did broadcast out to the world that part of what we were going to do was look at your lawnmower, but
There it
also I was
is.
going to have a cocktail. So
Yeah.
check.
Yeah,
All right. So,
why don't you tell people exactly what's there? People are asking what the recipe of the zinger is.
oh, okay. So, I love to put in a full lime, and then a small squeeze.
When you say full lime, you mean you squeeze the juice
Like
of a full lime.
I squeeze the juice of a whole
Mm-hmm.
lime.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like that I'm narrating while you're showing the tools. It's like if you're into Tegan and Sarah, this is for you. If you're into alcohol, this is for you. If you're bored, this is for you. If you are really into tools, this is also for you. Okay. You take a glass, you put it full of ice.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to be on TV, if you're not going to be on Instagram, you definitely put half the ice in. But okay, so you fill the cup full of ice, and then it's 2 ounces of gin. I really, I think maybe I only did 1.5 ounces this time, but 2 ounces of gin.
It is
And
only
then,
3 o'clock in the afternoon.
exactly. Then I squeeze a full lime into the mixture, and then half a lemon, and then I top it off with tonic water.
Sounds great.
Cheers, everybody. Seeing some people are drinking cocktails as well. Happy
I'm
pandemic.
drinking I'm drinking tea, but I'm quite sure Stacy's gonna make me a spicy margarita.
Well, we'll find out. Stay tuned. Don't leave the Instagram live until Sarah gets her margarita. Okay,
That's right.
so let's go back to your lawnmower. This was very exciting for you about an electric lawnmower.
Yeah,
My life partner, Sophia, helped you. She made some suggestions.
she
Um,
did.
she's very, 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 very obsessed with climate change, and she was really insistent that you not get a gas mower.
Which I
Not that
didn't,
you were
which,
not that you're planning on it, but she was like
no.
very like she was very invested. She also really likes tools and organization and things like
Yeah.
that. You guys get along around those kinds of things. So you went and got this lawnmower. Walk us through the process. How did it go?
Well, as you know, maybe some of you at home don't know, I've been an adult for 20 years and I have lived in a loft in an apartment, for most of those years, mostly in Montreal.
Hmm.
And I've never had a backyard. That was
Hmm.
my responsibility. Obviously, as a child, we had a backyard and we did on occasion have to mow the lawn. But I have not even remotely thought about yard work since I was a child. And so last year I was touring and busy, so I paid a service to come by and like cut my lawn every 2 weeks because I'm like
Okay.
bougie. I'm
Hmm.
like, it's, pretty like not bragging. I'm just being honest about, you're not at home, somebody's got to mow your lawn. But this year, because of the pandemic, I am going to be at home all summer and I'm going to be having this extra time on my hands. And so I've decided I'm going to take on the full responsibilities of my home and lawn and garden. And so I bought an electric mower. It's extremely light. One
Can
second.
you, yeah, leave your, yeah, guys, she did this the other day. It's so funny. Make sure
But
you
like,
really back up so
yeah,
we can really see it. Look at how
it's
light it
so
is.
easy. It's not even that heavy. It's just like unbelievable.
Literally,
And
all week,
and
this
I'll
is all I've been thinking about. Can you do it one more time? I didn't have a drink while you were doing it.
okay. It's like
Look, you guys, look how light it is.
it's so light. I don't know if I could do it with one hand. I'm not gonna like throw my back out on here, but it's so light, and I'll tell you why I think that's really important. I'm like I think of myself as being sort of like an ant person. Like people see my size in real life and they go, "Whoa, you seem bigger on stage, like taller and stronger." And I'm actually a
I see.
small
You mean
person.
ant like the bug, like the insect.
Yes. And so what I find is that people underestimate my strength, but also I have nothing to prove here. I have to lug this thing backyard, front yard,
Yeah.
and there's some stairs that I
Yeah,
have
and
to
it's
deal
not a
with.
huge yard, but
It's not a
like
huge yard.
you don't need a ride mower.
I do not. I mean, I would love a ride mower just because it would be fun. If I got a ride mower, I'd be going to all my neighbors, being like, "Can I ride your lawn?" But so I got this small one, and I was a little bit worried about it because it has a extension cord, which seems super old school and annoying. But I watched some YouTube videos, and there's a whole technique. And I have cut my lawn once. I was gonna cut it actually today, but because it's been raining, it says in my owner's manual not to cut it when it's been raining, so I have to wait.
Do you think that you and Stacy could organize that you get some footage of you
Yeah,
cutting the lawn for Where Does the Good Grow, your Instagram account? And I highly recommend if you aren't already, you should follow Sarah's Instagram. It's Where Does the Good Grow, and there's some
yeah,
already pretty incredible content up there. Good job,
yeah. I
Sarah.
have. Thank you so much. Yeah, and I mean, and I just not. This is not an ad for the company Ryobi, but I do love their thing. So just in case people are curious, I also have an electric battery operated leaf blower, and I find it fantastic.
Did you have it laid out like that because you were going to show it to
Yeah,
us?
yeah. Well, usually it lives on a shelf, but
Do you want
anyways, I
to
love
turn it
it.
on? How loud is it? Can you?
I don't want to turn it on because I have to get the battery and stuff. But oh, I wanted to show you something else while I was
Are you
cleaning the
okay?
garage. Yeah, sorry, the
Okay.
garage. Yeah, sorry, just my doesn't matter. Um, while I was cleaning the garage yesterday, I found one of Grandpa's old bar signs and I put it in and lit it up.
Whoa, that's beautiful. I feel like that one's
America's fine
mine.
light beer. It is yours, but it's in my garage, so
Yeah.
um,
No, that's great. I'm glad it's there. And good to know.
yeah, I found a bunch of your stuff. See, bar signs. That's all the stuff we got from Grandpa after he went to the big bar in the sky. I was gonna show you my my gardening shelves.
Yes, please show us your gardening shelves. Wow, very organized. I love that those garbage bags are called Husky. I think it's very
Yeah.
funny.
I mean, there's so much about the yard and gardening experience that feels gay to me, which I
Yeah,
love.
yeah,
So I've got, here are my different kinds of gloves,
very nice.
depending on what I'm doing. I've got all my chemicals and cleaning supplies. I try not to use these very much, obviously. I've got some sprinkler and some tools that don't fit on my pegboard. That's actually the organ, air organ
Oh, that's from
that
So Jealous.
that's I wrote so much of So Jealous on that air organ, but now it just sits there. So there's nothing, I don't know what to tell you. I also have another tool that I wanted to show you. Let me tell you one more thing about tools. A lot of women tell me that they're afraid to have tools. Like they'll have maybe
Uh-oh.
a screwdriver or something. What?
Oh, your connection got a little weird, but it's fine.
It's okay now?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. But I got this orbital sander. And can you see it?
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh, we can see it.
Oh, okay. So this is a tool that I felt intimidated to get. I have saws, I have a lot of things that could do some serious damage, but the orbital sander was the thing that I was really nervous about getting. And so what can you do with an orbital sander? You can sand things down. And it's like you can use it on a deck, you could use it on for me, I used it on some garden boxes that I wanted to repaint. And I'm probably going to use it on my coffee table because it's got all these scrapes all over it, and so I'm going to fix it. But I was so afraid of the orbital sander, and I just marched myself over to the Home Depot, and I got one, and I read the manual and watched some videos, and now I know how to use one. And I say that if you want to get an orbital sander, you should get one.
Absolutely. I'm wondering, I'd just like to rewind just a tiny bit in your story where you talk about marching over to the Home Depot. Are you close to a Home Depot? Like, did you actually walk or
Stacy drove me.
Stacy drove
But
you?
yeah, she drives me everywhere because I don't have a license.
I see.
So, I
Do
can,
you think that
but
that's something that you might, because I've been thinking a lot about getting my driver's license while we're unable to tour. Because
I
one of
think
my
that
big excuses for the last 20 years about not getting my driver's license was that it's like there's so many steps to getting
so
it,
many
especially
steps.
here in British Columbia. And then it just takes months to set up the appointment to actually do the driver's test. And my thing has been is that like there's not been a time in my adult life where I've been home for more than 2 months straight. And now it looks like I'm going to be home for a lot longer than that. And I've been thinking about getting my driver's license, and I'm just wondering if you also have been thinking about that.
I think that you know very well that I have been planning on getting my driver's license because it was
Mm-hmm.
something that Stacy said if we were going to move back up to Canada that I needed to also be able to drive the car. Although I have told her that I can drive and I had a learner's when I was a kid and I know how to drive. I just like you, I felt inconvenienced and put out by the fact that I would have to spend so much time. It takes years to get your driver's license up here. But yeah, I actually told Stacey yesterday that I'm going to continue the process, though I cannot take drive. You can't right now with social distancing. I mean, there's no way that I can do the driving school that I was
Yeah,
planning
but
on going
like
to.
there's no reason why Stacy couldn't let you just drive around the Home Depot parking lot after hours.
Obviously, doing donuts.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, you
did
need
you have you
snow for
seen this?
donuts. You really don't
Have
know anything about driving, do you?
Tegan? You can definitely do donuts on asphalt as well. You can.
Mm.
Yeah. Is there anything else like I mean, are you curious about anything else in my garage? Like if I was watching, like if Kate Blanchett was doing a live stream right now and she was in her garage, I'd be curious to see what else was on her shelves. But are
Well,
you curious?
yeah, you've panned past the clothes. You have a clothing rack there. I
Oh
know
yeah.
I've left some of my suits from over the years there, and I'm just wondering if we could take a look over there.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
you have this is
That
weird.
no, it's not. Pull it out. I wore that to I went to an event at YouTube to give Dan Reynolds from Imagine
Oh, it's
Dragons a
it's a
reward.
Sandro suit.
Yeah, yeah, you called it weird.
Well,
But
it looked like
every
something mom would wear in the 80s.
in the 80s, mom was 20.
Well, she probably would have worn it with some leggings.
Yeah.
Oh
All
yeah,
right, what else is there?
you have another suit.
Mm. I wore that at the Oscars, this TV
Oh,
show we played one time.
Yes, I'm quite familiar
Arguably,
with it.
arguably the peak of our career.
There's a lot of cat. It's weird because there's no cats in the garage, but there is cat hair on your suits. I apologize.
All right, what else you got there?
Oh, just our winter jackets because it's not winter anymore. Oh, this is my gardening smock.
I knew there was a gardening outfit. I knew it.
It's kind of
Uh,
dirty. It's quite dirty right now.
I love it. Very nice. Well, it's a very organized garage.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thanks
I
for
have. Yeah, I wanted to show that all of our Tegan and Sarah related things are in good. They're good, organized, well labeled.
yeah, this is definitely do some panning. I think people are really, I think
Well,
I've
I'll tell
seen
you what.
some PG-13 R comments about the what it makes people feel being in your garage and it being so organized. I have some fetish talk happening, but go ahead and pass it all again. We're here for you and we're here to see your stuff. Ho ho ho! Stacy
I got
came.
Stacy came and
Wow.
dropped off my margarita, my marg. Thanks, Stacy. Just get a little bit of a. Just check that out. She actually
Very nice.
handed it to me and then she reached into the glass and said, "Oops, cat hair," and then pulled a cat hair out of it. Um,
Yeah, can you
okay, what
stand
you want?
back and then do a slow pan? Let
Okay.
everybody see. Wow. Sarah did this. This is what Sarah's doing during the
Yeah.
pandemic. She's
hmm
organizing her single car garage.
Yeah.
She doesn't have a car
You
though, she
know,
just has a lawnmower.
you know what? We all have our strengths, and Stacy's is driving, and her car. By the way, Stacy keeps her car in immaculate condition. We've had it for 5 years. It looks brand new.
Yes, she's good at making margaritas.
Yeah, she's a wonderful, wonderful contributor to this household. Um, and I don't want it to sound too gendered either. Like just because I run the lawnmower doesn't mean she's not super capable when it comes to this kind of stuff. Okay, should we go out to the garden?
Let's go out to the garden.
Okay.
Thanks everybody for watching. I'm reading your comments while Sarah's chatting.
hmm
You're all very lovely. Thanks
Oh,
for
I got a bunch of new hydrangeas that I want to show you.
oh, she got some hydrangeas. Let's go back to Sarah, everybody.
Sorry.
Um, you're fine.
Okay.
You're walking weird.
I know, well, because I'm trying not to trip. Hold on.
Whoa.
Isn't that cool looking?
I mean, I'm surrounded by some pretty incredible looking plants, but that's really nice.
These are hydrangeas that we got. Shout out shout out to my father-in-law, Perry Reeder, who sponsored our hydrangea garden.
Really?
The plaque and bench with his name on it is coming soon, as you can imagine. These
Shout out to Perry.
these are also hydrangeas.
Very
They
nice.
look
Now, will those grow pretty quick
Excuse me, they're
or
not hydrangeas, they're hostas.
whoops?
Sorry, hostas.
Okay.
Stacy just corrected me. I know what these are. And these are all That's what I said. I said hostas.
Domestic.
They're all the same thing. They just look different.
Yeah, they're very nice. I love it. And then we rename those grandma's hair.
Yeah, these are grandma's. No, these are Berlin. These are your Berlin hair. Those
Oh,
are
wait. Go back. You mean that's me in Berlin in 2003, and that's
yeah,
what my hair looked like?
yes.
Yeah.
That's Berlin hair. This is me when I shaved my head at 18 and bleached it.
Yeah.
And that's grandma's hair.
Yeah. Grandma's hair was curly,
And
but that's the closest thing you have for sure.
that's my margarita. There's also some new color that we got for the garden.
Oh, so pretty. Are
These are
you in the front yard or the backyard? I have no idea where you are right. Oh, you're in the backyard. You're in the
I'm in
back.
the backyard.
Yeah.
There's some rosemary that we just put in, and then these are like these little colorful plants. These are called pink dots.
Ooh.
And I forget what these are, but they're gonna be colorful, and I don't know.
It's
Eventually
looking
that
good. What and
it
that's
is look
that and that's a is that a hydrangea? Mom
that
gave you
is a
that,
hydrangea.
right?
That is mom's hydrangea. Correct. Yeah.
What why did she not want the hydrangea?
Oh God, I forget. It's lavender, not rosemary. Sorry. I don't know why I had like one sip of jalapeno margarita and I'm like wasted.
So is it your garden or is it Stacy's garden?
Well, I mean, she's watching. Okay, it's easy just to watch and make comments about all the things I'm getting wrong. Um, Sorry, lavender. As you remember from last week, Mom told me that I needed to put the lavender in a less wet place where it could get more sun. And so I moved all of my lavender to what I'm now calling the Provence part of my backyard.
Uh-huh.
And yes, the hydrangea, I can't remember why Mom wanted to get rid of it. I think she was trying to make space on her deck. You know how she is. She makes things a bit cluttered, and then
I see.
she has to purge. I was going to also show you, remember last week I was showing you those weird sprouts that were coming up out of the ground that look like a
Hands.
Disney hands?
Yeah.
Wait till you see them now.
Oh, well, they're much more pleasing to look at.
Yeah, they've completely opened up.
Yeah, that's much better. I really, really disliked the way that they looked.
Yeah, I agree. They kind of, a lot of things in nature make me feel a bit, squeamish. Like, it
Yeah,
just kind of looks weird?
yeah.
Anyways, and that's pretty much, there's not a lot else that's changed since we talked last week, except I'm winning. I'm winning the battle with the birds. I put a bunch of seed down to fill in this patchy area, and look, all my little patches of grass are coming up.
So what, the birds are eating your grass?
No, they eat the seeds.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so that used to be that part of the backyard used to have a playset in it, and the yellow slide that was affixed to it, it killed that part of the lawn, and so now I'm reseeding it. It's pretty boring stuff, but you asked.
No, it's fine. I mean, the last time I lived in a house was in 2006, as you remember. That's where I wrote the con.
Yes.
And
You do a lot of
uh,
gardening?
I didn't do any gardening. I did have a lot of plants. I've always been a big plant person. This is just a small selection of my plants,
Hmm.
but the backyard had fresh sod when we moved into the house. Me and my friend Shannon lived in the house, and the people who owned the house lived in the back house, and they had to resod the lawn because of I think myriad of reasons, but. When they replanted the sod, the raccoons would come every night and they would tear it up. And so one night, the
Yeah.
owner of the house came over and he was like, "Look, don't look outside around midnight because I have to go pee all over the lawn so the raccoons don't come and tear up the sod." And I thought it was so funny. But that's literally my only contribution to gardening and backyards that I can think
Hmm.
of.
I haven't seen. We had, as you remember from last year, the raccoons also dug up our grass, and they used to do this really unsettling thing where
Oh,
they would come
somebody's
in.
suggesting that you cover those patches with straw.
Yeah, there's like you can also get this like netting stuff. I'm actually waiting for I'm getting the whole lawn reseeded because it's quite patchy. It's gonna grow in once the spring really gets, like I know it's gonna do better, but I'm feeling a bit anxious, so I'm gonna reseed the whole thing, and I've been thinking about putting down like a layer of netting to protect it from also the crows come and do a bunch of damage. The truth is,
Sorry.
what?
No, I was reading the comments. Just you guys are funny. The people who are commenting, you're very funny. Continue, Sarah. I'm so sorry. I got very distracted by the humor.
No, it's boring. It's boring. I thank you for the suggestion about the straw. I
People just
think
want.
that
Sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt.
no,
People are
it's
still
fine.
on the raccoons and the pee, and I just wanted to say that, like,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
he definitely didn't pee on the raccoons, and
Mm,
yes, it did work, and the
yeah.
raccoons did leave the sod alone. Um,
I think pee in general is a really strong tactic because when I was having all these problems with Black Cat and Mickey, one of the suggestions that was made to me was to take Mickey and Holiday's pee out into the yard, like take the litter with the urine and actually make a perimeter around the yard, and I did that. I went out really early in the morning with just bags and bags of urine litter, and um I created a perimeter, and almost immediately as soon as I got into the house, I saw Black Cat go and sniff it and then just came right back into the yard. It did nothing. So now my yard is just filled with litter. So,
whew. Well, Sarah, it's been a joy. A lot of
are we
people were
done?
well, we're not. I was just going to
Oh,
say some people have been asking about Dolores. For those that tuned in last week, I was talking about my plants, trying to relate to all your beautiful garden and all of your ferns and other things that I can't remember the names of.
Hmm.
And I actually, I flubbed a bit. I told the story about that specifically. We have a huge plant in our bedroom that in the mornings when I wake up, I open the window for the plant, and I was saying that I kind of like affectionately pet the plant. It's like got big giant tropical leaves, and I tell the plant, whose name is Dolores, good morning. And then my partner, who watched this Instagram live last week, pointed out that the plant's name is not Dolores. In fact, Dolores was in our old bedroom in Los Angeles, and we gave Dolores to Lindsay. A lot of you know
Mm.
Lindsay Burns, who's done a lot of our photos over the years, and we dated for a long time. And when I moved out of LA, I gave her and her partner
It's a
Dolores.
very gay thing to do.
A very gay thing to do. So she has our old houseplants, her and her partner, and they're doing great. But Sophia, my partner, my current partner, pointed out that the plant in our bedroom is not named Dolores, and I felt sick about it all week because
So
it
what's
was
his name?
well. This is the is I she says his name's I believe it's Alfred, but I mean it's clearly it is not named Alfred. It's not. I would remember that. So I definitely I wanted to show you guys Dolores or Alfred, and then maybe
Why
you
don't you just
guys.
call her Dolores 2.0?
Well, we're nicer than that, but it's this big guy right here, quite large. Uh, so I don't know. I'm like open to names if people like want to make suggestions. Um, I feel like it's got to be more of like a genderless name. I feel like both Dolores and Alfred are wrong now that I've really looked at it. So, but I haven't named any of our other plants. I mean, as you can see, I just brought in some of the bigger ones for some. This one's doing great. This one's in here in my office with me.
Hmm.
And then there's this one that I was showing everybody last week. This is can you see that? I can't tell if you can see it or not, but
Yeah.
that's the one that mom's plant holder where that cactus lives. So, um, anyway, I hope that satisfies everyone. I did plant some things on my balcony. Um, I sent a photo to Sarah to tell her about it. Are you frozen?
Are
I couldn't.
you
Oh, I thought
are
you
you
were
okay?
frozen. Well, you weren't
Well,
saying
was
anything.
I
You've got
couldn't
to
tell if
help
you.
along the conversation.
Oh yeah, I want to help along the conversation. We also
Yeah.
don't have to just talk about gardening. I know a lot of people are just asking lots of just in general questions. Is there any other things you want to talk about? Like, how are you doing? I know I'm this week or the last couple weeks, I've been really, really focused on writing music, which has been great.
Yeah, I feel like you've been going on these long walks, you've been working a lot in your garden, and you've been writing a lot of music, and I love everything that you're writing. I feel like we could go
Thanks.
in and make another record already.
Yeah, it
Um,
feels good.
I think that we're going to probably have to go in and make another record because we can't tour. And
Yeah.
I'd like to publicly say that I think that we should produce it. I think it should just be a Tegan and Sarah record, and
Mhm.
I
Sometimes don't you feel like the producer though, they have to like organize things or do things that are not that fun. Like that's the only thing that I keep thinking about. Like I totally feel
yeah,
like
but
we
you
have a
just
strong
said
vision.
Yeah, but you just said like that you didn't think you could run a sander or buy something, some all these tools. Like, why are you so afraid? We co-produced over half
Oh,
of
I'm
our
not afraid.
records.
That's different. I was afraid to use the orbital sander. I am very lazy when it comes to some of the technical parts of making a record.
Okay, well, there'll be some sort of help. But anyway,
Okay.
you've been writing lots of great music. What have I been doing? Well, Sophia and I planted strawberries and parsley on our
Hmm.
balcony
Hmm.
and a ton of grass,
Hmm.
but none of it's like fancy enough to look at. But one day on Where's a Good Girl, I'll show you guys my balcony. I've also been writing a lot of
Hmm.
music.
Hmm.
Um, as you know, I'm also running,
Hmm.
and I'm watching The Leftovers. I mean, lots of really great stuff. A lot of
What season of The Leftovers are you on?
just a couple episodes left in the third season. We've
Oh,
been
I love
kind
that
of
show.
we've been pushing through it the last couple weeks. I think next we're gonna watch The Good Wife. I've already seen it, but Sophia
So good.
hasn't, and then we'll be able to watch The Good Fight, which is also amazing.
Hmm.
Um, oh, I saw someone just say weed question mark. I don't know if they're asking if we smoke weed. I don't, but the other day I did actually go online to look for CBD products.
Hmm.
Last week, we ended the episode by talking about how maybe one day we would smoke weed on Where Does the Good Grow because it would be so funny. We don't really do drugs, but that might
Not really.
actually make it
We
that
talked.
might
We were
actually
actually
make it funny.
we were actually talking about maybe taking edibles, although I'm very afraid of edibles
Hmm.
because
Yeah.
I have had inconsistent results, and so I'm not my vice. Can I just tell you? I would have said it was alcohol, but last night, Stacy, I asked her when she went to the grocery store. She said we're going to get weekend chips, and I said fine, but leave them in the garage because I don't want to eat them during the week. And so she got home from grocery shopping and she put everything away. And I came in last night and I said, you put the chips, the weekend chips in the garage, right? And she said, they're hidden, don't worry. And so
I
then,
make I make Sophia hide the chips too.
yeah. So Stacy and I watched some TV, I had some wine, and then I wanted the chips. And I said, I'm a grown up and you can't stop me from having what I want. So just tell me where you hid them. And they were not in the garage where I asked her to put them because I would never, I have enough dignity not to go into the garage, but they were in the house. And the way her face looked, I knew they were in the house, which made me feel like I could look for them and eat them responsibly and like respect, have respect for myself. And so I looked in a couple of the places I knew they might be. And sure enough, they were in the back, the highest cupboard, in the back corner, which I cannot reach. Even on a stool, I cannot reach it. And so I had to ask Stacy to help me get them. And then she gave them to me and I said, can you just pour me one bowl and then put them back in that place I can't get that to them. And that's all I'm going to have is just this one little bowl. And so she poured me the bowl of chips and then hid them again and then went and was on a call with people that she works with. And I ate the bag of chips and had another glass of wine. And then I was like, I want another bowl of chips. And I tried to get them from the cupboard, but I couldn't find them. And so then I realized that she'd not put them back where they were because she knew me well enough to know that I would go looking for them again. And I looked in every cupboard, every closet, to the point where I was in hysterics laughing, but almost crying because I couldn't believe that I couldn't think of where she could have put them. And then I interrupted her Zoom call with her work people to ask her where they were. And she was like, they're exactly where they were before. And sure enough, I was able to use tongs and I was able to reach them in the very back corner and I ate all the chips.
Well, some interesting comments came in while you were telling that story. First, of course, most obvious being, what kind of chips were they?
They were Kettle brand New York cheddar or whatever they're called.
Oh, I like the uh, the yellow
Pepperoncini.
peppercini ones. Yeah.
They're delicious.
Um,
Oh, it's honestly the ones that are so good. It's like honey barbecue or something. Oh, that shit's great.
the
They're
cheese
great.
honey barbecue, none of that's my thing, but I like spicy.
Yeah.
All right, some clarifications. That's a great story. No, I'm not growing. When I said grass, when I'm growing grass, I'm just growing completely useless grass. No
That was an
weed.
old, that was like an old person that asked that question because young people would not associate marijuana with grass.
Yeah, I'm not growing marijuana yet. I am looking for side hustles because we can't tour. So if anyone's hiring, definitely. If you want me to grow you weed, obviously I have a green thumb. Okay, and then a few other things people wanted to know. Sarah, somebody went to the bathroom or did something and wanted to know if you ended up getting your margarita.
I did.
You did. Stacy did make it.
Stacy made it. It's absolutely delicious.
Um, Someone just asked actually a really sensible question. Do you grow any catnip in your garden?
I don't because I'm not trying to attract cats, and our cats are indoor cats, though they do go out on our deck, which is secure. Like no animals can't get on our deck.
Uh-huh.
Like a bald eagle or a hawk or something could get on the deck, but like no. I've spent a year watching the deck. We have like a big fence gate thing that so that like no raccoons or skunks or bears or whatever can get on the deck, and the cats go out there, but we don't keep anything around that they can eat or chew on or whatever. And I also don't put anything in the yard that I think would attract animals. Like I really wanted bird feeders, but the recommendation in the neighborhood I live in, I'm like kind of like on the side of a mountain and I'm sort of like away from the city and we get bears. And so they're like, don't have bird seed, don't have anything that would draw in animals.
Right.
And I'm really scared to have stuff that will attract the outdoor cats because I don't want to support, like I don't want the cats. I know it's their instinct, but that we have so many birds in our yard. We have all like I mean a crazy variety, like at least a dozen different kinds of birds, like woodpeckers and blue jays and um robins and like all kinds of stuff. And if one of the cats killed one of those birds, I would be devastated.
By the way, editorial note here. I wasn't laughing about the idea of birds being killed. Sorry, someone wrote something funny about bear pee.
Oh,
Yeah, I completely understand that. You don't seem to have any shortage of wildlife or growth in
no.
your backyard, so you're doing a great job.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna order us a hammock. Do you feel sad that you can't utilize our yard and come over and sit in the hammock?
I'm not a hammock person. Generally, hammocks, of course, are affixed to trees, and trees have leaves, and from the leaves, like things fall, sticky things, whatever. I just,
Our hammock's gonna be a freestanding hammock. It's gonna be freestanding hammock, so it's not attached to a tree.
Okay. I'd prefer if you spent your time and energy investing in a hot tub, which I've asked for a number of
Okay,
times.
and so
That
we've
would be
talked,
my preference.
and we have talked about this more than once that I am not. It's one thing to have a hot tub. It's another thing to be the person responsible for paying for the hot tub, for heating the hot tub,
You don't
for
have to pay the hot
cleaning,
tub. Me
for
and Mom
cleaning the hot
offered to
tub,
buy the hot tub for you.
for cleaning the hot tub. You and Mom gonna come over and clean the hot tub when it's filled with cedar droppings and spider eggs.
You get a cover for it. All of the things that you bring up are stupid. Doesn't make any sense. You don't think that the hammock's going to be full of cedar things and you're going to have to
You
clean
hose it
that?
down. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do.
You
If
hose
this
down a hot tub.
if the hammock gets filled with cedar stuff, you just you take this thing and then you blow it out.
You can use that on the hot tub.
No, you can't. Something blue in
I
my
just
eye.
saw
That's why
Stacy
you always
say,
wear safety
I just
goggles.
saw Stacy say that we're giving the hot tub. Here's the thing, it's so selfish. You know, I have kept my footprint very small. Sophia and I live in a very modest apartment. We don't have a backyard. We don't have a backyard. We don't have
It's very
space for
modest.
a
It's
hot
much.
tub.
It's just.
We don't have
it's
a hot
just
tub space, and you've got a whole backyard. You could have a hammock and a fucking hot tub.
Look at. I would be into the hot tub. I don't want an above ground one. Is that so wrong of me? I would. If we're gonna do it, let's do it. You know, let's do it in ground.
I think it should be in ground. There should be a deck around it. There's some benches. You get a fire. I mean, like, what else? You've just got grass. Like, no offense. Like, your plants and your ferns are nice, but like, man, you talk about it a lot in family time, and I just think to myself, you basically just have a park.
Like,
and I'm not a kid.
look, if
So
you,
to me, you
I'll tell
basically
you
just
what.
got a park,
You know what?
and
How about
it
this?
had swings, and then you got rid of them.
You know what? I will rent you a plot in my park, and you can put whatever you want in there. You and Mom can build. You can put a circus tent. You can put grow boxes and grow grass. You can do whatever you want. I will lease you a piece of land in my backyard.
Well, careful.
You can do whatever you want
You're
with
making it seem like your backyard's bigger than it is.
You could put 10 hot tubs back there. You go ahead. You guys you could make a cold tub and a hot tub. Why not do a pool? I fully support. I'll lease you the land. You guys take care of it.
You don't want a pool. You don't want a pool because it's too cold in Vancouver and it's too expensive to heat it. I've been saying this since 2007. Hot tubs are all you need. You don't need a pool. You don't need a pool.
I've been sold. You're more than welcome. The only thing stopping you, the only thing between you and being in my backyard in a hot tub is you buying the hot tub, getting it installed, and setting it up. If you called me tomorrow and you said, hot tub delivery is coming on Friday, I would be like, you can put it wherever you want. You can put it anywhere you want. And actually, I make a public promise, you can use the hot tub until the pandemic ends. I won't even use it. So you don't even have to worry about me giving you anything in the hot tub. You can have the hot tub. We'll put a whole plexiglass thing around it. It's your hot tub.
Here's the problem is that I offered this before the pandemic, and now with the devastation happening to the music industry, I don't know when I'm going to tour again. So I gotta be careful with my spending.
I see. Oh,
I'll talk to Mom. I'll talk to my co-investor though, because
Okay.
Mom and I live for a hot tub.
I mean, and you and Mom live in, you guys have apartments and your overhead is lower. So, you don't have to, I know you're trying to be responsible that people, it's true, this is a frivolous thing to just be screaming at each other about a hot tub during a pandemic. This is a bit of a comedy routine and we are drinking. But I will say, you and Mom want to organize a hot tub, by all means. Stacy and I can't wait. We're so excited.
Okay, well, this has been a productive 48 minutes. Is there anything else that you want to share with everybody? I think we've covered a lot. For the latecomers, you got to get here on time next week. You missed Sarah picking up her lawnmower and showing off her leaf blower, but it was really exciting. Thanks to Stacy for getting Sarah liquored up. Yep, there it is again. She can lift it right up over her head, her tiny little head. And Sarah's in the garage, not a shed. We're both getting our driver's licenses, and
a hot tub.
And we might get a hot tub for Sarah. But most importantly, we miss all of you. We hope you're staying safe. We're writing a lot right now, and we hope to be able to continue to contribute nice things for you. And we hope you're all doing okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really nice to just get on here and chat a little bit because it is weird times. These are weird times. I'm actually, I was telling you this, but it's making me very nostalgic for earlier times in our life and our career. And I'm gonna go and I'm gonna have all these VHS tapes that we dug out for when we were writing our high school memoir that we didn't use this footage because it was into our 20s, but all these great videos of us playing shows around If It Was You, and that came out in 2002. And I was thinking that I might post some of that footage because it's making me feel, this whole thing of like not being able to tour is making me feel very nostalgic for just like the small shows and hot and sweaty bars and people standing way too close, and everything seems really gross now and like a viral nightmare. But the footage of the shows, I've been thinking about it a lot. So I think I'm going to post some of that because, those were good times. And we really miss being able to go out and play shows and see people. But the good news is that it is giving us some space and time to do the other thing that we love to do, which is make some music for all of you. So that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, everybody, be well this week. Don't forget to follow Sarah's Where Does the Good Grow account.
I'm going to post, I have some great footage I'm going to put up today on Where's the Good Grow. My trees in the front yard have all bloomed. The spiders are back. Everything is alive and exciting, and I'm going to post that. I know a lot of you can't wait to see it. So I'm
actually really excited. I really love that now I can go to the account and check out your gardening stuff,
Yeah, and I also really like that people, the other day I posted some footage of myself watering the tree, and someone was like, with the tree, you really want to water it at its roots, not just spray out its leaves. I know that stuff. It's like also, it's an aesthetic choice for me to sometimes post myself just spraying the trees.
Let's be real. It would take all the fun out of it if we didn't post something and then have a bunch of people tell you what to do or tell you how you're doing it wrong. That's why we're all on the internet, isn't it? So we can just spray opinions.
I just want everybody to know I understand how watering works.
Sarah's not an idiot, you guys. Look at us. Look at this. Obviously, we can grow things.
Obviously. Look at Tegan. I mean, my God. All right, well,
I basically live in a greenhouse.
Yeah,
I live in a greenhouse. Really, it's a lot of light. It's very hot. It's extremely, if you're my neighbor, you've seen everything at this point because it's just all windows.
I stopped over at your house the other day to grab some painting supplies, and your apartment's already hot, and it's only April.
Yeah, it's hot. I don't have air conditioning, but I get a nice breeze at night. Don't worry about me. And I live in a greenhouse.
You know where else gets a good breeze? The backyard, where you could be sitting in a hot tub with a nice cool breeze off the mountain.
Well, that's what I'm suggesting. Instead of you always just going, look at my lawn, and I'm like, who cares?
And I will just say one final time before we sign off. You and Mom, open lease. You guys can do anything you want in our backyard. Anything you want.
Okay,
good luck.
I want an ice rink next year. Like a little mini one.
That's not going to work. It's not cold enough.
What if we turn the driveway pad into an ice rink?
Well, because that's dangerous. One, just like a older person walks up a little bit onto the driveway and falls, and boom, that's my house
Well,
gone, you know?
we'll put up hockey boards. We'll work through it. I mean, it's summer now,
Yeah.
so but um, everybody, thank you so much for putting up with us and for hanging out for the last hour. I'm assuming you'll see us next week. You know,
Yeah.
comment on our last post. What do you want to know more about? What do you want to see in Sarah's garden? I saw some people asking questions about plants, and if Sarah has any tips, I'm going to tell you right now, she probably
I
doesn't.
don't.
But you can
Yep.
absolutely post questions and thoughts and feelings, and we'll try to keep it interesting and come back next week with another episode.
Yeah.
Until then, I guess that's it.